Hey, welcome to 45 News Utah. Today is March 26th, and we're going to run down the Utah Division of Wildlife Resources changes that they're going to do for the 2021 uh, general rifle and other hunts across the state and their management plans. So on this article, they said they're going to drop the deer tags down by 4,900 tags. Now, I'd like to give you guys, they're going to put the biologist recommended 74,775 general season deer hunting permits. When they drop it down by 4,900. Now, a lot of guys are going to say this is a great idea. This is fantastic. You got to remember two things that's going on here. So, realistically, they had to drop their management numbers, their expected goals on deer populations down. And that means if you have, a production goal you're supposed to hit to meet demand and you can't do that, you continually drop down your amount that you can produce. So the DNR, instead of fixing the issues, have turned around and dropped the deer tags down, not to mention their population objectives. So two things to remember there on that end. Secondly is so when this happens, 4,900 people are not going to be hunting this year. And it's not due to, anything other than the amount of deer population dropping. They can spew the stuff they want, but the problem is they could not meet their goals. If you're a company and you have to meet a goal, you can't meet that goal. You have to drop your goal down. Or if you're a quality control and you can't maintain a certain quality level, you drop your quality down in order to meet what you can do, but you can't meet the goal. So we have two things happening here. We have a multitude of things happening here. A failure, complete and utter failure by the Division of Wildlife Resources and the Wildlife Board and all the above. Complete and utter failure. I'll give you guys a rundown. I'll tell you the truth about it. Guys out there counting pellets and looking at the amount of, amount of pressure on the winter ranges through, deer down there grazing or they're eating forbs, they're eating bitter brush and stuff like that, sagebrush. Well, they give back that report to the DNR, and then that passes on to the biologists, and the biologists make a recommendation. The people that are doing these studies are not really experienced in the field. They have not been, most of them have not been experienced in as hunters. They don't have 30 years under their belt. They don't know, what used to be here. They don't know how things were. And we've seen a consistent, steady decline of deer, just up and down the entire state. It's like an airplane crashing. And they cannot figure out for the life of them what's causing this. This is what it is: supply and demand. If you can't meet the demand because of your supply, and your supply is shrinking, you need to find out where the bleeding is. Now, if it's urban development, we understand that, but there is tons of habitat in Utah that was former deer habitat that's no longer that doesn't have deer on it anymore. What's the issue? Lions, let's get into predation. It takes 52 deer a year per cat to feed a mountain lion. That's a minimum. Okay? One mountain lion can kill and consume, that's cat food. Just like you go to the store and buy, you got a bunch of kitties, and you go there to the store. Let's just break it down for everybody. You go to the store and you buy cat food for your cats. You have 2,000 cats. You have to buy X amount of food to feed 2,000 cats. The deer are the cat food. And the kitty is anatomically exactly the same as the mountain lion that's roaming up in the hills. Now, if you got 2,000 mountain lions in the state of Utah, how many deer you have to feed them? It's 104 deer per cat. That's 104 deer per year per cat. You got 1,000 mountain lions. That's 104,000 deer you would have to stuff down that mountain lion's throat. Now, if you say, okay, benefit of the doubt, they kill elk, they kill horses, they kill turkeys, they kill chickens. I don't care what you say they kill. You still have a cat food bill. Their main prey animal. Doesn't matter how much you throw this around. You can throw it in every direction you want. Chuck it there. One cat food bag says deer. One says elk. One says turkeys. One says horses. When you throw that cat food down for those cats, that 2,000 cats, you better believe the deer are going to be going. The deer cat food's going first because that is their target animal. That's what they hunt. Now the others are seconds and thirds and fourths. That's just those are opportunities. So let's just say 104 deer per year, 104,000 deer per year, just to maintain 1,000 cats. Now, if we just say they kill a horse and then they kill, realistically, the cat's going to kill the deer first. You're looking at 208,000 deer a year. You're going to have to feed that cat, that population. The basic numbers don't work. Okay. Now what they've dropped their numbers down on the harvest objectives, the total deer populations of the state. I don't have in front of me, but I can damn well tell you that you can't afford 200,000 deer a year to feed those cats. You just can't have a 2,000 cat population in the state of Utah. It's not rocket science. Okay, it's not. Cars, people, depredation tags. Here's a tag, here's a tag, here's a tag. Oh wait, once you fill it, tag. Not ranching for wildlife. Own property, big buck tag. You know why buck? You're not allowing the animals on your property for winter range without complaining. You shouldn't get a tag. You're not opening your property up for wildlife, for deer, specifically deer. You don't get a tag thrown at you. Just doesn't make sense. The state of Utah has to change their way they're doing stuff, or we ain't gonna have any deer left. This has been a consistently dive bombing bomber, and it's gonna hit the ground. And by the time it hits the ground, the people in charge are gonna look back and say, "Oh, we made a mistake." Just like the Fish Lake when they wiped out all the elk. We made a mistake. We gotta stop. Oh, what do we do now? It's simple. Too many cats, 2,000 cats, 52 deer a year minimum for one cat to survive. There's your problem. That's why the backcountry doesn't have deer. That's why you hike into areas used to be full of deer tracks. There ain't no damn deer left in there. And then cats kill your bigger bucks. Now, the lion hunters are going to say, "Oh, no, they don't kill those bigger bucks." Okay, special interests aside. If you're a guide or a lion hunter, you're a special interest. You're making money off a public resource. Okay? Just plain and simple. Plain and simple. That puts you on the other side. You're out of the choice. It's a resource you utilize for private game. We're talking about the hunting public. 90% of the entire population is the average public land hunter that doesn't have a guide, and they're not lion hunters. They're not involved. Okay, they're not ranchers. They're not farmers. So you got to set that all aside. This is talking about the future of our deer and elk. Okay, and a complete mismanagement, complete utter mismanagement. If the DNR was a business, they'd have been fired or out of business. Out of business. You can't try to kill your product. Oh wait, let's make that product off that production line. Keep that product. Oh wait, smash all those boxes there. Just blow them up. We don't want them. Throw them out the window. Defective, not defective. Okay, just get them out of here anyways. I don't want to sell those to the customer. We're going to try to drive the price up and cut supply, and that's why everybody goes to other states, because the production isn't meeting the demand. It's called renewable resource. It's 101, guys. It's business. So they cut the general season from 79,000 tags. I remember days it was a lot more than that. Down to 74,000. Premium limited entry went from 184, same. Management buck, 64 to 45. Handgun, archery, muzzleloader, and shotgun limited entry buck deer hunts, 15 stayed the same, of course. Limited entry deer, 1,182 to 1,070. So, cut a little bit. Doe permits. Or doe pronghorn. No, that's doe deer. Doe deer, 1,775 down to 935. Completely cut them out. Don't care. Don't want to hear excuses. Cut them out. Cut them out. You need to stop. The bleeding's there. If you don't stop now, there's going to be nothing left. General spike bull, 15 to 1750. We got a problem. They wiped out the elk. Oh, imagine that. General any bull, 15,000 to 17,500. You know, that's like, okay, this is the general bull season on general units. They don't want the elk there. They didn't get the BLM with the, all this bull crap done way back in 1901 or whatever. When they reintroduced the animal, they wiped out in the beginning. My ancestor did it too, and I'm telling you. So they gotta increase. They're gonna throw 2,500 more people out on the range on the old bull unit because too many people want the old bull unit because they can't draw a damn deer tag. You see where the problem is? See where the problem is? Supply and demand. And don't tell me there ain't enough room for that many deer in Utah. The problem is there isn't that many deer in Utah because your back country's full of lions. Plain and simple. And if they go down the field to get shot, and you hand out a deer tag, and you hand out money, and you hand it, instead of hey, you can't have a deer tag unless you ranch for wildlife on your properties. It's plain and simple. Colorado does it. They got a huge deer herd, huge elk herd, ranching for wildlife. Not a cooperative wildlife management unit. No, you allow the deer on your property, and you get tags to hunt bucks. We'll shoot the does to death. It's stupid. It's just stupid. Cow elk, they're increasing that. Any of you guys hunting the Panguitch and Indian Peaks, this is a joke. Zion's gone. This is a joke. Just a joke. Youth Any Bowl 500. I guess I didn't go through with unlimited Youth Any Bowl. Limited entry bowl 29.48 to 29.89. Buck pronghorn went up. Doe pronghorn went down a little bit. I wonder why. Look at the Parker Mountains. Just saying. Go to Johns Valley. Check it out. Not many left anymore. Bull moose went up a little bit. Cow moose went way down. Wonder why. Bison, they're just going to shoot them to death. Sheep went up a little bit. Bighorn went up by 2. Rocky Mountain Bighorn, same. Mountain goat went down by 2. Okay. Very bad policy. I don't know what the general public seems to think that's going on here. The majority of the people that I've talked to that think that this is all great and there's so many deer have not been here more than a decade. This isn't great. The deer herds are shot. They're destroyed. They're gone. They don't exist in a lot of places. What deer we do have left, low quality. Lions kill the adult bucks, the big bucks that are by themselves. Straight from the warden that retired, told me straight out, says this is what's happening 2 years ago. Said, yep, you're killing them all. They find 2-3 bucks alone. The lions will sit there and pick them off. Mother and two yearling kittens will just kill all 3 of those bucks and then move on to the next batch of bucks because they're easier to kill than the does. It's plain and simple. Pair on front range, doe tags, no deer left hardly at all there. What do you do? Schertz's Canyon, almost void of deer, completely void of deer. Bumblebee, they killed 280 does out there. It was depredation a couple years ago. They've just been slaughtering them. August 1st doe hunts where they have baby fawns. They did the cow elk hunt up on the top, up on top Cedar Mountain. Shot the cows August 1st, killed the calves with the cows, 2 for 1. Calves couldn't do anything. Cows come in and ate them up. Grazing thousands of sheep up there. There ain't just dirt left up there. I got pictures. Anybody want to see them? Pictures of pastures and meadows. It used to be meadows that are now just sheep, dirt, dung, nothing left. All over the top. So unless we have an independent investigation done by an independent organization on the Utah Division of Wildlife Resources and the mismanagement of our renewable resource, we own it. We own the resource. Doesn't matter who's managing it, we own it. Wildlife Board's handpicked by the governor. We need to eliminate that. We need to get rid of the RAC Board. The RAC Board needs to be fired. Everybody on the Wildlife Board needs to be fired. And everything needs to be investigated who was special interest and who put what money where. You don't give out tags to make $100,000 for the highest bidder when you can't even meet the owners of the resources demands on publicly owned units. Private property owners, hey, you know what? They should get the damn tags. Not some rich guy and has his own airplane. No, you need to go to those ranchers and landowners and say, hey, let's make a deal. we have a problem, and you're going to have to help. This is what happens when you help us. You let those deer go on your property, graze, no questions asked. Don't complain, and completely eliminate the welfare bunch that just screams until they get a free truck. Not going to do it. No. Sorry, I had to move. The TV is full of dust. Well, dust all over it. The only time a rancher should be compensated for this, for deer and elk, is when they've done actual damage. And the problem is, if they're not a part of a ranching for wildlife, even they have 300 acres, 160 acres, they're not a part of it. They don't receive. If they want to complain and the deer and elk are not welcome on their property, they do not get antlerless tags and they do not get any buck tags. And what needs to happen is the funds that were being given out to people that were making hundreds of thousands of dollars off screaming at the DNR and screaming at us for our deer and their resource that they own too. We need to take that money and fence their property off. It's time. Just high fence it off. High fence it off. You need to get access to the west. You need to do overpasses for deer from the one side of Panguitch Lake over to the desert. That's public land out there. Just feed them out. If these guys all get on board, we have to be on board. If the rancher and the local guy is causing the complete annihilation, what's been happening, then we need to figure something out. Because public land is public land, and private land is private land. But we all can work together. I know it's an amazing feat, but the problem is you can't hand out money and doe tags, cow tags, depredation hunt, depredation. Fence the property, fence them off, or enroll them in a ranching for wildlife and give them the opportunity to make some damn money off tags. But just don't give the guy's got 160 acres out there. Oh, I need my money, my tag now. He should be eliminated from the draw, eliminated from tags. No, nothing. Doesn't get anything. The DNR should go in there with select hunters to take out those deer. And then, or just fence his property off. Just say, well, I'm sorry, this is former deer habitat. It's been that way for thousands of years. We have to find a way to fix this. You're killing off all of our deer herds, and this just stays in ground form. Fence the property. That's all you can do. Fences everywhere. Texas is full of high fences. You got a $53 billion budget. You know what? We have to fence them off. Just what we have to do. And we have to legally have corridors for our wildlife. You know, yeah. So hopefully you enjoyed this. I know it's going to piss a lot of you off, but the problem is, see now, 4,900 people won't be hunting in the state of Utah. Okay? And there's not enough deer to meet the actual quota we're supposed to have. We're supposed to have a population, but they can't meet that. The numbers are down horribly. We have to do something. We have to become more like Colorado, ranching for wildlife. Just we're going to have to do it. I don't care about walk-in accesses. There's no reason for walk-in access if there's no animals left. Okay? That's just my opinion. Remember, these tags are getting cut now. You wait till next year. If we don't stop the bleeding now, there won't be much. Mule deer can spiral into near extinction. Quicker and quick. Believe me, it'll happen. It's already happening. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope it doesn't piss you off, but if it did, just remember this is our legacy. This is our deer and elk. And the people that I'd rather be hunting with my family. I'd rather have every one of us have a tag. I'd rather see deer everywhere again. And I'd like to, see the old times return. But there's reasons for the problems with what's happening. Deer have to be in the valleys because there's cats on the hills. Kill the cats. Take them out. And then work with the ranchers. Make it right for them. Stop giving some expo bazillionaire a bunch of money and a CEO a bunch of money for auction off tag. No, that should go to access for public wildlife. And if you don't want the deer on your property, hey, then you could just step out of all of it and no tags, and we'll just fence your property off. You guys have a good night. Take it easy. Thanks.